acting's a kind of fascinating and very complicated process which is a sort of intellectual, emotional and physical complex, and it's a quite an alchemical process which is fascinating and very involving.
As an actor, or especially in rehearsals as an actor, you would be transported away from what you're doing. You come into the space, you leave everything outside and you come in trying to be in a tabula rasa, a blank slate. I sort of get transported away from what I'm doing and I become more the character.
Often in rehearsing a play, the director or the people involved will talk about creating the world of the play. And of course the primary elements of that world are the characters of the other people involved in that. Another great threshold moment for the cast is in the technical rehearsals, which are often very messy from the actor's point of view, but there's this wonderful process of discovery of, you know, what's this world that we're going to be inhabiting, and, you know, actually having all the set elements and discovering the geography of the space is really a kind of galvanising moment. The importance of a warm-up in making the transition from your everyday self into the play, I think it's crucial. The warm-up also is partly kind of just putting yourself into the kind of combat-ready state that you need to really go out there and own a performance.
I usually get in at about an hour before the other cast, and it takes 4 hours pretty much. I never get to warm up. In some ways I think it's actually better than getting to do a warm up, because you sort of get to construct your character aesthetically on your own face.
For most actors, the moment when the audience finally arrives in the theatre is a really critical threshold. I mean, it's a great moment, but of course it is also the moment where the fear kicks in, and you know that you're going out and you're going to have to make it all work from the beginning to the end.
For this be sure, tonight thou shalt have crowns.
There's no way of recreating the high that you get on stage, so everything afterwards just sort of feels a bit dull by comparison.
When a show ends, it's generally a huge come down. There's a lot of energy that goes into getting that production happening. And when it does happen, it's great, and then it kind of ends and you're like, oh, what do I do now?
There's a certain amount of sadness in finishing a role like that. There is a sort of grieving process that you go through. When I look in the mirror, I'm not Prospero anymore. The final monologue is quite overtly saying to the audience, well, this has all been a kind of show, it's all been pretend, but it's up to you to kind of decide whether you approve of that, whether you let me go.